All right, let's get back to Fabi versus Sam.
Something less
Now,
controversial.
I was very sad this game because Sam lost. Shankly ridiculous. Okay, so they played a London, which normally Fabi doesn't play.
Go London.
Okay, and then it was boring. So they played really boring, and it was equal. It was the most equal. Okay, E5, good. Yeah. So black has no problem in the opening. Problem is, it hasn't been easy to see the last 2 or 3 years. One reason is Shanky doesn't stream, and he didn't play any tournaments when there was COVID, and right after COVID was stopping chess tournaments. Now they just play, people get COVID, they don't care. But now, Shankland was playing great, which doesn't make any sense, right? Because as is well known, and he jokingly talks about it, he's the 2,700 player with no talent. And that's been his moniker his whole life, is he doesn't have any talent. And now he uses it as a joke. I'm the least talented, but it's true. I mean, he studies chess 24 hours a day. He memorizes chess, every variation all the way to the end. Now that's talent, because I don't know how he does that. I can't remember anything. And the other person who does that is Fabi. Fabi also analyzes every variation all the way to the end. And the difference is Fabi's good at chess and Sam's like me, but with the best opening preparation of all time. So if I knew openings like Sam, I wouldn't be, so bad. I'd be bad, but not as bad. And Fabi's good at chess and has great openings. So Fabi got nothing out of the opening, and it was just like a, equal position, but then they had to play their own moves. And then that's not good for Sam. It's not a good look for him. So Sam equalizes against anybody. And then if he's playing somebody better than him, then he loses. And Sam recently does really well against people 2,600 to 2,730. Thanks for the 200 centidues. I mean, Shankland's like a 2,670 player who's 2,900 in the openings. So he can beat those people. But if he's not getting a winning position or a big advantage after move 15 or 20, then he's not going to beat the top 10, 20 in the world because they're better than him.
No, but he's talented.
Yeah, he's talented at, complaining and studying openings. Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, the game is just equal. White has no advantage. I mean, just sort of a boring position even. Okay.
It's like one of my games.
Yeah. Right. This looks like Karen's one.
It does.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, I mean, black has no problem. White has no problem. But at some point, they have to play chess. They're out of theory here. There's no theory. Now they got to make their own moves. Okay. Never play f3. Confusing Shankland. Although, of course, with this pawn here, you got to, got to do something.
I think I might be a new fan of Shankland's.
Right. But no, he's black.
I know.
But you
I
should
know
be
he lost. I've already seen this game.
You should be a fan of Fabi because he played the London.
Fan of Fabi. I love Fabi.
Yeah.
He's my favorite.
Now, it doesn't like Shankland's f5 because this knight's a great blockader. The queen can get out. Bishop can get out. This pawn's not so strong. It wanted him to play knight b6, defending the queen side. Okay, bishop f4 is an excellent move. And Shankland played rook there, which isn't good. They wanted him to play g5 and kick the bishop back. This is why he played bishop f4, so he could get a battery. He didn't want the queen in front of his bishop because queen here's not mate because the king's not here. Otherwise, he would. Now he wants to, knight there. And he wants to double up on the bubble up. And they both double up on the bubble up. Yeah. The problem is, even though black has this nice pawn center, this knight's great, and there's another knight to replace him in case, So this pawn needs to be defended. And because Shankland played f5, instead of leaving the pawn here, he's weakened his king side. And the engine actually wants to play h4. Put it in h. But this is also attacking. So. Shankland retreats. The engine doesn't like that move because he gives him the g4 square. Now the other knight can go to e3. So now white's getting a big attack on the king side. Knight d6, and he puts the other knight there. So this is all great. All of a sudden, Fabi's pieces came to life. And, basically, white is attacking lots of squares in black's position. And if you ever learned chess from Bruce Pandolfini, hopefully you didn't. But if you did, then he'd be like, oh, white's crushing it because white attacks all these squares in black's territory. And I probably missed some because I'm old. And black, what's black attacking? Not too many. Not, very few. So like 4 to 10. Thanks, Council of Rooks, for the 5 subs.
Yay.
Thanks, Mr. Biceps, for the sub, etc. Okay. The World Amateur Championship is at this sweet resort in Greece. So I would just recommend it for that. But I've never, it's not like it just depends where it is. Okay. So he played knight e7. He wants to get his knights to e5, f5. Knight e5 attacking the queen. You don't want to give up your bishop, but he did anyway because you don't want that knight to stay there. And actually, the engine just says that black's in a lot of trouble because all these pieces are great. And black is on the defensive. Right. And then there's a famous move played this game, and I haven't seen the game yet. I saw the opening. Knight attacking the queen, and this is a blunder, and you will know Fabi's name is the Lord when you see this next move. Mm-hmm. Right? And he wants to trade, and he wants to take a queen, and so forth. Mainly and so forth. Right? And this is a mistake because Fabi plays knight g4, and if you take the queen, this is checkmate. So he thought he was attacking the queen, but now my knight's coming in pretty good. Yeah. Okay, so he put it in H. Now it's possible, I'm not saying it's true because I didn't see probably they didn't interview Sam afterwards. It's possible Sam saw knight g4 and he's like h5. I'm threatening the queen now because I have the h7 square for my king. I'm threatening the knight. Although he's not threatening the knight because queen here's mate. But he's threatening the queen, and unfortunately, queen g5 is winning a piece sacrifice. Takes. I'm guessing if I was a betting man, Shankland saw knight g4, and he saw h5, and he's like, okay. And then he underestimated this position where he's up a piece. He probably figured, I'm up a piece, I'll figure something out. And the engine, which is always in Consuelo mode, always, said, no. Mm-hmm. So the understanding of this piece sacrifice was excellent from Fabi, but it's not from Sam. Sam's like, h5, what's the problem? And then he's got a problem. Knight g7. It doesn't matter what he does here, he's lost. And he figured, as Yasser Serouan would say, if you're going to be lost, you might as well be a piece up. So if he plays other moves that are lost, then I take this knight, and then you're lost, and you're not up a piece. So you might as well be up a piece and lost. I agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I would.
Queen here, and the thing is, the rook can't take this rook because of checkmate. And the threat is very silly. The threat is just to trade rooks until there's no rook on g7, then take it. So I take this rook, I take this rook, and then finally I can take your knight. You can't play knight e8 because queen here mate. Mm-hmm. So this is funny, black's a piece up, white's threat is to trade rooks, and black can't do anything about it. Okay, so he played this. That's the engine move. And then he took with the rook. Keeps taking. Yeah. And now the material's equal. And it looks like he's weathered the storm. Unfortunately, you see this bishop? He ain't weathered the storm. This is the best bishop you'll ever see, and this bishop's no good. It's blocked by everything. And if the knight moves, we come in here, so this has to defend this forever. Blah. Okay, g4, that's a good move. he retreats. If he takes this, which he did not do, but I said if he takes it, I take this. Now, obviously, being a piece down is bad. So if you're going to play this way, you have to take here, and then check, mate. So Fabian and Sam saw that, so he played bishop e6. Queen takes g6. Yeah, never trade queen. Now, I've said this for years. Years and years and years and years. Okay? If you have a chess coach who's not me, or you read a chess book that I didn't write, it says when you're ahead of material, you should trade queens. And I told that when I was giving chess lessons to Trump like 30 years ago, before he was a super villain, he was like a regular villain. He said, wrong. Okay, and he was right. It was the only time in his life he was right. The reason he said wrong is he thought I said something else. He was confused. Okay, I mean, he was high too. So trading queens here, frankly, is ridiculous. This queen is crushing black's king. This queen's defending. So taking that's absurd. So queen h6. Yeah, we still got all of our attack, etc. Okay, e3. He wants counterplay. You know the famous song? I want counterplay. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, very famous. Bishop f3, stopping queen f2, right? Mm-hmm. And if you take the bishop, then you get mated.
Same mate, the whole game.
Yeah. So after bishop f3, he resigned. Now, here's the problem that he has. Mm-hmm. Okay. So in this position, black was threatening this, and he stopped it. Now, if it's white's move, I said if, I'd play bishop takes knight, queen takes, I take on e6. It's funny how that's not defended enough. In fact, this is the engine line. That's the best black can do. That's pretty bad when that's the best you can do. You know, I'm going to take this in any case, and I'm going to, So he resigned here, and it says white's +8. So that was a great game by Fabi. I mean, everything he did was great. He got nothing out of the opening. They got a position neither one of them knew, and then he just outplayed him because he's Fabi. Go Fabi. Right, Fabi did outcalculate him. Frankly, I mean Shankly. That's right. Yeah. And so forth. Don't trade because you're ahead. Trade because you're a beginner. Right. Fabi didn't see his queen was attacked. It was lucky. Right. Yeah. Yeah, white's bishop is really good. I mean, you don't want to play bishop takes knight, but you want that knight in there also. Yeah, Fabi's decent. That's correct. Everyone hints on Shankland, only if you know him. Karen doesn't know him very well, so she's like, yay, Shankland.
I'm just joking.
She's like, Shankland. Yeah.
No, I root for him sometimes when he's U.S. He plays for the U.S.
Shankland played great in the World Cup, which doesn't make any sense, but he did. Mm-hmm. Even I play well sometimes. Ridiculous.